Hello, so today I am at Mere Sands Nature Reserve looking for a little bit of wildlife, and probably, if the wildlife doesn't pan out, there's some gorgeous woodland around. Keeping my eye out for I'm keeping my eye out for some nice trees. You know, that tree that just stands out and just looks really good. There's a little bit of mist on the lake over there. I am with Tim again today, Tog Buddies. He's disappeared up there somewhere, but I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful to a point. It's been one of them days already, but I am hopeful. So let's see what we can get. If I'm honest, I think we might struggle today. What do you think?
Yep.
Yep. The nature reserve's a bit too busy. There's lots of volunteers and there's lots of stuff going on. Even though there are a few hides about, there's no real evidence of any. We came for the deers really, but even though it says on the website there are some, I'm a bit sceptical about it. So we're about a quarter of the way around the walk around the outside of the reserve, and going to do another quarter, so we're about halfway, and then maybe start looking for some trees, because there's some nice patches of light coming through. Just got to find a nice tree first. I'm a bit down on today. Don't know why. Just feels a bit negative today, but let's see what happens. Let's see if we can turn that negativity into positivity. We're in the middle of this beautiful patch of woodland, but I'm finding it hard to find something which really stands out. There's a tree just in front of me over there, which I'll show you it. Through there you can see, you probably can't even see it. There's a tiny little tree, it's quite young, and there's a little bit of orange in the middle of the green leaves, but it's not even making me want to get my gear out. When vloggers vlog at the same time. But it's just hard to find something that, I think there's a bit too much, it's a bit chaotic, and there's no one thing that's making me think, yes, that sort of creates a little bit of order in the chaos, I suppose. It's just all a bit like an explosion of trees just scattered everywhere. I'm pretty sure if I did stand there for a while, something might grab me, but it's just, the light's not very good either. It's a bit dark in here, it's a bit dismal. But I am hoping to get a really nice tree shot today, a bit of woodland, because as I said before, I think we're going to struggle with the deer. We're too noisy anyway. We're not going to see anything because we're too noisy, we'll scare it off. So I'm going to keep searching, keep looking for a little bit of inspiration on these trees, and let's see what we can do. Well, that was a bit disappointing really. I think we were both hoping for something a little bit better, but we're both a bit down and depressed about it. Back at the car, I'm gonna put my gear away and then pay for the parking, and then we're gonna go and try and cheer ourselves up, because there's a waterfall nearby which I've been to before. I've vlogged that before. That vlog is up here, and hopefully with the rain over the last couple of days it'll be properly flowing. So I'll see you when we get there. Well, you can probably hear it by now. We're at this waterfall that I've been to before, and this time you can't even stand where I stood to take the picture on this vlog that I put up there before. Just look at it, it's beautiful. I think all that rainfall that we've had over the last week maybe has really brought this waterfall to life. It looks so much bigger and so much more powerful than it did the last time I was here, probably 5 months ago. As I said, you can't even stand. I was standing down there somewhere, and there's just a pool there now. I had no water around my feet last time. In fact, I don't even think I was in wellies. But this time, I'm glad I am in wellies because I'm going to get wet if I get anywhere near it. Right, let's get the gear out and see what pictures we can get. Right, so I've just taken a variety of shots, sort of perched on this rock, surrounded by water. I've got a ND foreground on. I always use my 10 stop, and I do find myself a little bit critical about that because it's like my go-to filter. So today, it's still quite dark in here, but there is patches of light coming through. So I wanted to use something a bit different, and with the force of the water coming over, there's loads of water. I didn't need to do that long of an exposure really to capture the movement of it. So I've done a 3-second exposure with the ND foreground on, and I'm in bulb mode obviously. I'm on f8 and it was a 3-second exposure. So I'm really pleased with it. I've just managed to get this, even though it's all green everywhere still, there are some orangey leaves and brown leaves on the floor. So I managed to keep them in the bottom left hand corner, which kind of leads you up to the main falls. And then there's a rock which is, someone's either put it there or it's appeared there somehow. But the force of the water is hitting it and it's jumping over the top, creating a nice effect in the bottom half of the picture. So I've got a lovely waterfall in the top half, some nice leaves and foliage stuff leading you up to that, and a bit of interest in the bottom half in the foreground as well. So here it is. I've just taken another shot. I've pulled in on the waterfall itself a little bit, cutting out this bottom half, cutting out the autumn leaves, the burnt orange leaves, and just capturing that waterfall. I focused on the rocks. I might get my polarizer out to take any glare off the rocks, but again, the shot looks fantastic. Really powerful. I'm really pleased I've come back to this place. Always return to places that you've been to before, because a few months later, a few days later, a few hours later, they're always different. And this is 5 or 6 months later, and the water from the rainfall that we've had over the last few days is creating some gorgeous conditions to shoot in. What a difference from this morning. Well, I couldn't come back here without getting my 10 stop out, and I have got my 10 stop out, and I've just taken a 3-minute exposure. I felt a little bit rushed because there was another photographer that turned up, and I was clearly standing in his shot. But I could have done with maybe another 30 seconds of it, but it still looks nice. It looks quite mystical, quite ethereal, quite sort of, you know, the water speaking for itself as it drops over, and everything else is quite dark, which is quite nice. So I'll put that one up now, and I've had an idea for another shot a little bit further downstream. And also Tim has disappeared. I hope he's not fallen in. I'll go and check on him. Here's the picture. So after a bit of a poor start this morning and then a high point, top of the roller coaster with that waterfall, I'm finding it difficult to shoot, to get a really intimate, beautiful woodland shot that I'm happy with. The thing here is that this woodland's all quite concentrated. So I found a couple of trees that are beautiful, but they're really close to what's in the background, so throwing out the background isn't really working. And I've got a couple of shots that I like. I don't know if I'd share them. If I do, they'll be in a few minutes probably. But I'm going to keep searching for something because there's definitely something here. it's just finding it, but good things come to those who wait. So I might have to be content with those waterfall shots today because I just can't make any of this woodland work for me. I've taken some nice shots, but there's nothing that's really standing out and making me go, yes, that's the one. I'll probably be heading back up the steps and back towards the car in a minute, but I'm still, there's a little part of me that's still hoping that there'll be a nice shot on the way out, something that'll catch my eye. Never say never. I've just filmed my sign off, which I'll put up in a minute, or I might reshoot further up the steps. But I just had a quick look through the viewfinder and I could just see a few bare, you know, stripped back branches of a tree, and it was just shouting black and white photography to me. So I've just taken a couple of shots of that. So I've just taken a couple of shots of that, one of which I've pulled out slightly on compared to the rest of them because I want to get a square crop it, which will be perfect for Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram, you'll see it down here, or down here. Follow me please if you want to. And so yeah, I'm going to get off this massive mound that I'm on and head back up the steps. But yeah, don't give up. There's always something else left to be photographed, and I probably will come back here in a few weeks when it's starting to get a bit more autumnal. I think autumn's teased us a little bit. It's given us a little bit of a taste and drawn us all out, and then it's not quite turning the leaves yet, but it will do. So hopefully a couple of them shots came off and looked pretty good in black and white and colour, if I left any in colour. But I think that's it for today. Definitely need a cup of tea, and I think Tim's heading off to Southport, so I'll put his video in the link at the end. Thank you for watching. Please, if you like the video and consider subscribing as well if you haven't yet already. I'll reply to any comments, and I look forward to you joining me on the next vlog. See you next time, and take care.